This is going to be the top 10 things that people say that annoy behavior analysts. The first one being, I need an ABA. Instead of saying I need a behavior analyst, or I need behavior analytic principles, or I need ABA, they say I need an ABA, like it's a friggin' noun. So there's no such thing as an ABA. Maybe they call that positions in schools and stuff like that. I'm not sure, but behavior analysts don't like it. Number two, people say I need a behavioral analyst. A behavioral analyst. And I'm just letting you know, if you're speaking to a behavior analyst, for whatever reason that annoys them. I don't mind when they call me that, but for whatever reason, a lot of people don't like that. Number three of the top 10 things that annoy behavior analysts is that saying he has a behavior. Because everyone has behaviors. I mean, right now, if I'm just sitting here breathing, it's a behavior. So for people to say he's having a behavior, it just annoys behavior analysts. Number four, everyone knows in our behavior analytic community that there are 4 lawful functions for behaviors, 4 of them. So when a behavior analyst asks another behavior analyst or someone else, what's the function of the behavior? And if the person responds and says communication, it really upsets a lot of behavior analysts. Just letting you know, for whatever reason, it upsets behavior analysts because communication is not a function. Communication, 3 out of the 4 functions are often because it's a communication problem. However, communication is not a function in itself. So in other words, the function would be attention, escape, access to tangible stimuli, but not communication in itself is not the function of a behavior. Number 5, when people say, and my mentor all the time used to get upset if I said, yeah, I just reinforced him. So this is annoying me doing all this shit, isn't it? So I'm going to stop doing the quotations. But saying I reinforced him, you're not reinforcing a person, you're reinforcing the behavior of the person. So I'm just telling you what behavior analysts get annoyed by. Number 6, it's when your friend finds out that you're a behavior analyst and you say, your friend says to you, or your spouse or your significant other says to you, are you behaviorally analyzing me? That's not what a behavior analyst does. We're not behaviorally analyzing you every second. Number 7, it's when you go into a school district and someone asks a behavior analyst, okay, what time are we doing ABA? And say a teacher says, oh, we only do ABA at 11 a.m. That annoys behavior analysts. I'm just telling you. I think it's ridiculous to be annoyed by that, but behavior analysts get annoyed when you say, we do ABA at 11 a.m. So you might be doing verbal behavior training or discrete trial training or functional analysis, but behavior analysis runs all throughout the day. So good behavioral principles like positive reinforcement and extinction and different behaviors like that, that goes all throughout a school day. It doesn't just happen at 11 a.m. I think what happens is sometimes teachers or clinicians get mixed up by saying, that's what time we're doing discrete trial training or something from 11 to 11:50. But behavior analysis runs throughout the fabric of every day when it's a good program. Number 8 of the annoying things that you could say to a behavior analyst that upsets a behavior analyst, it would be a principal or a clinician from a different practice, such as counseling or something. Someone on an interdisciplinary team would say to a behavior analyst, I need an FBA. Like, I need an FBA almost like it's a short order. Saying, like supersize the FBA or something like that. It's not something like you just order up. Like an FBA or a functional behavior assessment takes time. And to do a quality job, it requires a behavior analyst to take appropriate amount of data. You don't just order it up like an FBA with fries. Number 9. Number 9 of the annoying things that people say that upsets behavior analysts, again, not necessarily me, but is when someone says, oh, there was no antecedent. So an antecedent basically is, an event that comes before a behavior. There's always something. There are always some kind of stimuli that occur before a behavior. You have an antecedent, a behavior, a consequence. So when you ask a teacher or something like, what happened right before it, and they say, there was no antecedent. There's always something. It doesn't mean that it had an impact on the behavior, and it doesn't mean it was a causal relationship, but there's always a correlational relationship, which isn't the best, by the way. Number 10, one of the most annoying things is when someone says, a learner could have a real severe behavior or emotional problem, and when someone says to a behavior analyst, oh, he doesn't need ABA, he's not artistic. Number one, it's annoying when you say artistic because they mean to say autistic. Number two, behavior analytic principles are not just for learners with autism. If I could ever stress that more, behavior analysis, it applies to everyday interactions with people, with everyone throughout the world. It's not just autism. They're my top 10 things that annoy behavior analysts. Not necessarily me, but behavior analysts in general.